Imagine waking up one morning, drinking your usual coffee, and, when you turn on the TV or check your phone notifications, discovering that scientists from all over the world have just detected a new asteroid that, theoretically, could hit Earth. For those who watch science fiction films, this may even seem like a movie plot. But the truth is that the asteroid 2024 YR4, discovered in December 2024, has brought to the table a real and urgent discussion about planetary defense and strategies for dealing with space objects that come too close to our planet. Although the probability of impact from this specific asteroid is relatively low, it is enough to mobilize space agencies, governments, and the United Nations, UN, itself in a joint effort to protect Earth from a possible catastrophic collision. Today, we will talk about these safety protocols, understand the most recent scientific discoveries, and reflect on how this issue can even impact our daily lives. First of all, it is important to recognize that asteroid monitoring technology has advanced a lot in recent years. Thanks to systems such as ATLAS, Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, it was possible to identify 2024 YR4 while it was still on its initial trajectory and, therefore, estimate the risk of collision. This effort not only demonstrates the seriousness with which the scientific community treats this type of threat, but also reinforces the importance of international cooperation to analyze, calculate, and, if necessary, act quickly. And when we say act, we mean everything from launching orbit deflection missions, such as the famous DART mission, to establishing large-scale civil protection protocols. In this scenario, the UN steps in to coordinate agencies from different countries, activating anti-asteroid safety protocols and ensuring a well-structured global response, with real-time information exchange and strategic decisions that seek to protect specific regions of the planet. Of course, if we stop to think about our daily routines, the idea of a giant asteroid cutting through the sky and threatening our way of life may seem distant or improbable. After all, our day usually revolves around tasks such as dealing with traffic, taking care of work issues, taking care of the family, and, sometimes, finding some time for leisure. Even so, the issue of cosmic impacts should not be underestimated. The geological history of the Earth shows that major collisions have occurred before. The famous asteroid that, 66 million years ago, formed the Chicxulub crater and contributed to the extinction of the dinosaurs is just one example. Today, with all our technology and knowledge, we can detect these celestial bodies with greater precision, and that, in itself, brings a certain peace of mind. But vigilance cannot stop, as there are still many small and medium-sized objects constantly transiting the solar system, and any of them could become a real threat. When we talk about possible impacts, we also need to mention the consequences that such an event could trigger on Earth. Scientific studies, such as the one that analyzed the asteroid Bennu, indicate that a large-scale impact could drastically alter the global climate, reducing temperatures by several degrees and reducing precipitation rates across much of the planet. Imagine, for example, how agriculture would be affected, generating food shortages and major economic concerns. In addition, changes in atmospheric chemistry could impair photosynthesis and, in turn, unbalance the entire food chain, from small plants to large mammals. In the aforementioned study, scientists observed that the fall of material on Earth would generate an impact winter lasting a few years, capable of altering the course of human history. After all, entire populations could need to migrate or completely adapt their ways of survival. However, not everything is a doomsday scenario. Research indicates that certain oceanic regions could even benefit from a possible enrichment in iron, caused by the dust and debris left behind by the collision. This reaction could encourage the growth of some diatom algae in specific parts of the Pacific and Antarctic oceans, illustrating how resilient and complex nature is. Even so, this possible benefit for some forms of marine life does not compensate for the environmental, social, and climate damage that a major impact would cause in the rest of the planet. This is precisely why space agencies spare no effort in creating mitigation plans. After all, predicting and preventing will always be more sensible than curing. Hence the importance of initiatives such as the International Asteroid Warning Network, IAWN, and the Space Mission Planning Group, SMPAG, which coordinate resources and knowledge to intercept a potential threat. If we stop to think about it, the mobilization of resources for monitoring and deflecting asteroids also reflects the evolution of humanity. We have more and more technologies and, above all, the ability to cooperate on a large scale. The UN, by activating its planetary defense protocols, emphasizes that the responsibility for protecting the Earth does not lie with a single country, but with the entire international community. In the specific case of 2024 YR4, which continues to be closely monitored by scientists, the current estimate of impact is still considered small, but it exceeds the 1% risk threshold that requires special attention. This seemingly modest percentage was enough to set off alarm bells and mobilize experts who seek to ensure the safety of our cosmic home. It is a powerful reminder that, despite our political or cultural differences, when it comes to the survival of the human species, we are all in the same boat. Observing all this activity, we realize that dealing with extraterrestrial threats is not limited to asteroid impacts. Today, we are paying much closer attention to the skies, analyzing atmospheric phenomena, studying new exoplanets, and probing for any sign of life beyond Earth. Sometimes it may seem like pure curiosity or entertainment to read about possible discoveries in space, but every little bit of data we collect contributes to our understanding of the universe and to our own protection. In our daily lives, we usually don't take the time to reflect on these gigantic astronomical events. However, a warning like this one, involving asteroid 2024 YR4, is enough to make us realize the scale of the problem, and, at the same time, how much modern science has evolved to prevent us from falling into a global disaster scenario. Now, changing the tone of our conversation a little and entering a field full of mysteries and curiosities. There are many prophecies, legends, and theories circulating on the internet about the future of humanity, pointing to space as a source of great revelations or transformations. Many of these visions mention the arrival of extraterrestrial civilizations on our planet, either to share knowledge or to warn of dangers that may affect us. And isn't it curious to imagine that, while scientists dedicate their lives to monitoring space rocks, there are those who firmly believe in the imminent arrival of aliens, even associating possible signs in the sky with the fulfillment of ancient omens? Although traditional science is based on concrete data, this mixture of faith, mythology, and technological expectations can, indeed, stir our imagination and fuel debates about the future of Earth. Who has never wondered if we are truly alone in the universe? Along the same line of thought, there are those who see cosmic phenomena, such as the approach of asteroids, as a manifestation predicted in ancient prophecies. Religious texts, conspiracy theories, and even accounts from ancient cultures often cite celestial events as signs of a major change. For some, the possible arrival of aliens and the collision of space bodies are interconnected, serving as a trigger for a global upheaval in the way we live. Of course, most scientists remain skeptical about such predictions. However, it is intriguing to think that our human history is full of reports of contact with beings from other worlds or of great catastrophes coming from the sky. These narratives, when analyzed without prejudice, can arouse our curiosity and open the way for questions that go beyond the limits of what we currently understand as factual. After all, looking up is, in many ways, a reminder of how much we still don't know about the vastness of the cosmos. So, after all that we have discussed, how do you feel about the possibility of an asteroid impact and the new discoveries about space and even about potential extraterrestrial visitors? This is a subject that undoubtedly provokes diverse reactions. Some are concerned, some are fascinated, and some prefer to consider it all as a distant hypothesis. But, regardless of your position, the fact is that global surveillance and the search for technological solutions continue to be strong, ensuring our greater protection. And to make this conversation even richer, share your opinion in the comments. Do you believe in prophecies involving extraterrestrials? Do you think this type of broad monitoring is really effective in keeping the planet safe? Let's continue this debate in the comments and, who knows, discover different points of view on a topic that definitely deserves our attention. After all, the more voices discussing the safety and future of Earth, the better prepared we will be for any challenge that arises on the cosmic horizon.